Hello, loves. It's your girl, Reese Reviews. Welcome back home, where we're going to be discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 8, Episode 4, Keep My Wife's Name Out. So let's get on into it. We start off the episode with Kimmy. She's sitting down talking to Andrea in her office. Andrea's on the phone. Andrea is her friend as well as an architect. She's speaking about the business than her and Maurice have. And pretty much she's ready to get started. As she's speaking to Andrea, in walks Tisha. Tisha looks super cute in the pink. I'm not a pink girly, but it looks nice on her. She compliments Kimmy's look and they compliment each other and they just start talking. Mind you, while Tisha's talking, Andrea is still on the phone talking. So they're both talking on the phone. And Kimmy points out the fact that both of them are talking. None of them can hear that the other one is talking. And so Andrea lets her know that she'll talk to her later. She's going to let her and Tisha get reacquainted. Tisha basically lets her know that she's super excited about the project. She knows that Kimmy wants it to go great. She just does not want any issues because of the whole mixing family and business together. She did express that she knows that Maurice wants Marceau to be a part of the development, and Marceau is obviously going to say yes. She just doesn't want it to be at a cost of her and Kimmy's friendship. Kimmy agrees and says that she knows that she's annoying because she knows what she wants. She wants to get things done as quickly as possible. She has deadlines and she knows she can be annoying, but she's not going to let that hinder their relationship. As they kind of die down from talking into that, in walks Destiny. So Destiny comes in and she sits to talk with them, and it looks like Kimmy has brought her there to kind of catch up. So Tisha then goes to say that Kimmy put her in a weird and awkward situation, and that's where she dropped the bomb that they both met up with Sunny. Kimmy says that she wanted to explain to Destiny why she met up with Sunny. And her reasoning for meeting up with Sunny was basically she just wanted to know what was going on. She feels like she was in a comfortable enough space to do so because during the time where she had her biopsy and her cancer treatments, Sunny was literally there for her. I'm using her word. She said literally a few times. So clearly she wants us to know that it wasn't just, oh, she was there, but she was actually physically there with Kimmy. So she felt like she was in a good enough relationship to do so. And so Destiny said, oh, okay, she was just listening. And Kimmy was just like, I wanted to know what was going on because based on what I saw with her, I didn't feel like that would be in her character. Destiny understands she didn't, say anything negative about her or them meeting up. Kimmy goes on to say that she feels like her and Tisha explained that Destiny should have a sit down with Sunny. And Destiny is like, she doesn't want to do it. She feels like when Sunny sent her that text message and said that her and Moses were dating and it's getting serious, she was kind of confused as to how she'd be dating her cousin. And to her, that was just like, all right, now it's just time to block you because this is kind of shady. And I mean, I can completely understand where Destiny is coming from. She also elaborated to the fact that she has messages of her saying, I miss you, sis, love you, sis. And she was also invited to Sunny's surprise birthday party in another country. None of the other people that she produced, I don't believe that many of the people that she produced in general were invited. So in Destiny's eyes, that just clarifies the fact that they were definitely building a relationship much more than what Sunny has alluded to. And sidebar on that, because I've been pretty much on these YouTube streets listening to different interviews. And one thing that I can say for real is Destiny's story has not changed at all. It doesn't matter who she speaks to. Her interview is 100% solid. She has not contradicted herself in anything that she said in the interviews that I've seen. If you guys have seen some other interviews where she contradicted herself in her status or her time frame of her being with Moses or whatever, let me know so I can kind of take a look at it. But Sunny and Moses, for her to be a producer, she needs to speak to a media coach because Homegirl has been contradicting herself left, right, and center. I've literally heard her mention him being like cousins in regards to her family in more than one interview. So this whole cousin thing is not far-fetched from what Destiny's saying because she has definitely brought up cousins more than twice. It isn't, at the end of the day, yes, they are married, and that's not the issue. The issue is not that they're married. The issue is the circumstances that led up to the marriage. That is the issue. And I just wish that people would stop saying that Destiny's on the internet embarrassing herself, trying to get closure. He's married. Who cares? Yes, just because he's married does not mean that her feelings are not still valid. Her feelings are going to be valid whether he's married or not. So I just feel like it's so ridiculous for people to be upset at the fact that she's even putting this out there or confronting them. First and foremost, they have a job to do. Let's just be real. They have a whole job to do. There's been plenty of times other cast members who are no longer in relationships has sat down and had conversations multiple times, and they're not getting dragged for having conversations. What do they need to have a conversation for after they're no longer together? Right, because it makes for good TV. So let's just carry on. Tisha and Kimmy also bring up the fact that they did speak with Mel, and they spoke about the situation with Mel as well. And Mel was in defense of Destiny and pretty much said that Sunny was foul for doing what she did. And yeah, she was foul. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. She was foul. At the end of the day, did she get married? Yes. Do the actions that lead up to it sound shady? Absolutely. It was still foul, regardless of the outcome. It's still foul. Kimmy wants to know if Destiny would like to go ahead and do a sit down with Mel, and she doesn't really care for that either. She just feels like, nah, I'm okay with not speaking to her. And Kimmy just says like she should give it a shot because at the end of the day, Huntsville is really small. Even if they are not besties, it's always good to, at least be cordial. And so at that point, this is when Destiny says, well, I feel like Tisha should kind of talk to Stormy. And that should be fixed first because that is an older situation than what she has going on with Sunny and Moses. Tisha basically says she's okay with being around Stormy as long as Stormy doesn't say any jabs because she's not taking jabs anymore. And Kimmy was like, well, she did apologize. And Tisha was like, yeah, she apologized. And literally right after that, she went and said it again in regards to her calling Marcel out of his name. But Destiny ends it with, all right, show me how it's done, big sis. Basically wanting Tisha to take the lead. So now we move on to the next scene. In the next scene, we see Martell and Nell. They're doing a sit down. Nell and Martell meet up, and Nell is pretty much reconnecting with Martell after her conversation with Melody. She goes on to let Martell know that she did speak with Melody in regards to what was going on with his arrest. And she did tell Melody that she basically was not okay with Mel putting Martell in jail. And this was so corny to me because literally Martell is sitting there shaking his head like the bad actor that he is, shaking his head with that weird smile on his face like, oh, that's so terrible. Why would she do that? I know. And I'm just like, what the hell? So him and his horrible acting skills are acting like he's so upset, reliving the fact that he got arrested. And what Nell did say is that she did tell her that she wasn't okay with the fact that he was put in jail. However, what Nell also said was, and then she told me that you try to put out revenge porn on her. Why would you do her like that? And Martell is acting like he doesn't know what in the world Nell is talking about. I feel like Martell believes wholeheartedly that if he just keeps denying, it's all going to go away. And it's like, boy, bye. What you mean? It's not going to go away. This is what you've done. You cannot say that it didn't happen. Just because you say that it didn't happen and you deleted the picture on your end, you're trying to make it seem like this is a fallacy. Sir, you got arrested. Nobody's going to send you away to no jail for a text message, sir, especially a vague text message like that without concrete evidence that you have done way more. So for Mattel to keep acting as if this is some fictitious picture, this made up situation is ridiculous. You knew what you put out. You knew that it was going to be damaging. And you even said that it would ruin you too. So you didn't even care if it ruined yourself just to spite her. So you are a very dangerous person. You are extremely dangerous. I just wish that we heard in that scene that Nell say that now that she understands what he did, Mel had all right to put him in jail. I wish that part was shown because I feel like the way they edited it, it was edited to make Nell seem like she was flip-flopping. When I actually had to re-listen to it again so I can get the context because the wording was very specific. It kind of sounded like, when you listen to it once, it sounds like she's flip-flopping. Oh, I told her I didn't like her. I didn't like. Yes, but that's what she did tell her. She did tell her that. And then she followed up with, however, she told me. So I believe that there's a part that's cut out. If not, then it is what it is. But at the end of the day, the way it's edited, it makes it seem like Nell is flip-flopping. But honestly, I really don't feel like she was flip-flopping. I feel like she was saying exactly what she did say to Mel so that it wouldn't be misconstrued. And then she would say, you know, this is what she told me as to why it happened. So I'm going to go ahead and give Nell the benefit of the doubt of not flip-flopping, unless I see something else that states otherwise. However, Martell is showing her the text message that he sent to Melody. And he's like, oh, I was telling her to stop bullying me. Like, sir, come on now. Listen, at the end of the day, whether it is tit for tat, because it does take two people to argue. One person can't argue with themselves. So I'm not going to sit here and say that I believe that Mel is 100% innocent. Her and Martell have never, she's never nitpicked or, did something shady that he would perceive to be shady. I can't say that. However, what I can say is bullying is a stretch. If other people are talking about you, that she knows, she's not the bully. It's other people. He's upset because the fan base is going hard on him. I get it. I completely understand. However, at the end of the day, could she tell people to chill out? Yes, she could. Is she all within her right not to? Yes. Also, she does not have to put on a cape and save the day, because at the end of the day, you should have had on your cape and saved your marriage. But she didn't want to do that. So whatever consequences you end up with, sir, that's based on how you treated your wife. Had you treated your wife the way you should have treated her, you wouldn't have had an ex-wife. None of this wouldn't have happened. This is all because of the decisions that you decided to make. Now also lets him know that she's dealing with something pretty much similar with people going to the blogs, and then she pretty much explains the situation with her stepdaughter Lexi, I believe that's her name, and how Lexi's been calling her a side chick, and Martell thought that was a time to laugh in that lady's face. Let me tell you something, Martell. The fact that you don't find certain things serious is the reason why you're going through what you're going through right now. You take things as a joke, and then your life becomes that joke. It's crazy that you would sit in that lady face and laugh. People know who to give the burdens to, I'm telling you, because if it was me and you was to laugh in my face, it wouldn't even make it on the show, because I would have definitely been one of the people from the cast behind bars, because ain't nobody could have laughed in my face on somebody alleging for me to be a side chick. And you're supposed to be quote unquote my friend. But then again, Martell is a friend to nobody. He's not even a friend to himself. So can't really even be too much surprise. And narcissistic people love narcissistic ways. Narcissistic people love to feed off the energy that somebody else could potentially be just as narcissistic as them. And it's a sick, twisted game. And Martell definitely plays that game very, very well. He basically is like, oh, so you didn't do anything? You didn't do anything? Nell is like, no, I didn't do anything. He was separated with divorce papers already. And when I found out that he was married, I left him alone. And then Martell is now trying to say, oh, okay, so you were with him and then you had to let him go because he was married. And Martell is laughing because in his mind, just like in everybody else's mind, that would make you a side chick. But at the end of the day, meaning that his relationship with Nell is supposed to be a friendship relationship, that's not the time to be laughing in her face. Nell is in confessional stating that she felt like Martell is taking this as a joke. She doesn't take her family as a joke. She's not a side chick. The only mistress is that coleslaw that he has on the side, and that Martell makes a joke out of everything, just like he did his wife, just like he did his family, and she don't got time for that. She then goes to tell him that her birthday is coming up. She's not inviting him to the birthday party. She's inviting Mel, and she wants to tell him to his face because she feels like she owes him that. He goes, oh, okay. In confessional, he says he don't give a damn about going to a 60-plus old birthday party. He doesn't need for Nell to tell him that she goes with Mel the long way and not him. And she could have basically just kept that to herself. Moving on to the next scene.
In the next scene, we have Marceau, Maurice, and Moses. All these damn M's. Jesus. Anyways, so we are at Black, and Marceau and Maurice are talking. Marceau smoking his cigar. Maurice comes in, and they start talking about catching up. Marceau says that Moses wanted to holler at him, so he told him to meet him at Black. And they start talking about the fact that Moses and Sonny moved very, very quickly. Maurice makes a statement and he says that he feels like Destiny and Moses broke up and then he immediately married Sonny. Marceau goes on to say that, well, he married Tisha after 1 month of dating. You just know, what it is. You don't need to just be... Basically, you don't need to be in a prolonged relationship before you know if that's a person you actually want to be with. So Moses comes in and he greets the guys. And this is where Marceau states that he had met Moses through Destiny. Because him, Tisha, Destiny, Moses, and sometimes even Courtney and Stormy would double and triple date. I'm not seeing this narrative of Destiny being a side chick when she's going on double and triple dates with people off camera. That's not side chick behavior. That's not row your hoe behavior. It's not. Going out on dates, yeah, that's not side chick behavior at all. On either part. Because if that's his side chick, he's not going to have her doing main chick activities. Or rather, only chick, because that's what it should be, activities. But I digress. Moses says something that's very interesting in this scene. And what he says is, she knows that she did not put the work in. She knows, referring to Destiny, that she did not put the work in. And this is in order for their relationship to have progress. So when we get to the end and I start going over Destiny's statement in the final scene, I'm going to clarify some of the things that she said, which actually stuck out to me. And that's stemming from that specific sentence right there. She did not put the work in. And that's in relation to their relationship progressing. Maurice thinks that he should meet up with Destiny. Marceau thinks it's a bad idea. Maurice thinks that, if Destiny blessed the relationship, then it's blessed. Marceau says, oh, hell no, which I need to meet up for, because at the end of the day, if y'all was done, then what's Destiny going to say? You can't marry anybody? And I feel like anybody's not really the case. I feel like the case is not anybody. The case is not anybody. And I feel like that's what people are missing over. Yes, if they're done, should he date? Of course. But there's a lot of weird stuff, weird statements being made. And I don't want to call anybody stupid or dumb or illiterate or anything. I don't want to be misrepresenting anybody's character. So what I will say is the things that are being said, the wordplay that's being used does not put this couple, this married couple, in the best of lights in regards to what and how they are saying what they're saying. But anyways, Marceau says that he thinks that Moses is a lot like Martell, very headstrong. Even though he's listening to what you're saying, he already has his mind made up, and I completely see that. He states that he believes that he does not owe Destiny anything, but would sit down with her to clear things up so that they can move forward. I mean, if you feel like you don't owe her anything, then again, why are you sitting with her to do anything? And I feel like you do owe her something, because at the end of the day, as somebody who claimed to have been in a relationship, because the thing is this, I honestly feel like he really downplayed Destiny to Sonny. I do feel like Destiny is very guarded. I feel like when she feels like she's comfortable with you and she could open up, she'll really open up, and then you'll know too much. But so to safeguard herself, she keeps herself very tight until she feels like she can really trust you. And I feel like Sonny actually broke those layers down to where Destiny believed that they were forming a friendship. And it's not if you believe that, it's on you. It's not that. It's not that. Because speaking to somebody outside of work is something different than just being work buddies. When you start taking your friendship outside of work, you're no longer just work buddies. For example, me and my best friend, we met at the job. We met in a work environment. But that's my best friend. And she's been my best friend for over 10 years. But our relationship did not start outside of work. It started inside of work. And then we started hanging out outside of work. Then we started hanging out real often, calling each other, like checking on each other. We built a bond and a sisterhood, but it started at work. So the whole we co-workers and whatever have you not, yes, that's cool if y'all kept it inside of work, but you didn't keep it inside of work, and that's where you went left. Now you're trying to pacify your situation by saying, oh, we was co-workers, stop. Because that's not going to fly. That's not going to fly. But I'll get to that part when I get to that part, because every time Moses says something in defense of his relationship with Sonny, he does an oops. He does an oops, because he then went on to say that he feels like he doesn't owe Destiny anything, but he's going to speak with her to kind of smooth things out. What's there to smooth out if you don't owe her anything? You know you owe her something. And then when you meet up with her, you say something completely different than how you alluded to your wife. You say different things to your wife. You downplay things to your wife. And then in your wife's face, you're going to agree with what she's saying. And then in Destiny's face, you're going to agree with what she's saying. And we're going to get to that part. So let's just continue forward. Basically, his mind is made up. He going to talk to Destiny. That's the end of that scene. Let's move on to the next one. In the next scene, we're at the gym, the place that Courtney does not want to be at. So we see Courtney and Stormy meeting up with Trish and Ken. Courtney asked them how much times a day they work out. Stormy had said that at one point she'd known that
Trish worked out about 3 times a day. They say they kind of knock it down to two, once at 5 a.m. in the morning and then once at night. And sometimes, depending on how they are feeling throughout the day, they may work out. Courtney's like, they work out too much. I want to go out to dinner or lunch. I don't want to go to work out. Stormy actually wants to do a competition, a fitness competition. She said she never really had the time to put into being a part of a fitness competition, but that is definitely one of her goals. And Trish tells her that she can achieve it. So we split up. The girls split up and the guys split up, and they do their own thing. Ken and Courtney basically are on the machine working out. And as they're doing their little workout, Courtney basically says that he can't believe that him and Trish got together because they've been around the same spaces of people but have never been around each other, and nobody really knew that they were dating. Courtney was kind of taken aback by that. And Ken does say that they have been in the same company of people, but they haven't even never been around each other. And it's crazy that now they are in fact together. Then we move over to Stormy and Trish. They're working out. Stormy is on the leg machine. Trish is basically telling her that she went through a lot. Both of her parents passed away 6 months apart from each other. And she had some other death in the family, and that caused her to kind of draw back from people that she thought were going to be in her corner, aka her husband, was not, and just showing red flags from there. And this is where she kind of states that, her anger came from, and she started working out even more and more. And the gym became a safe space, and in that notion, Ken became a safe space for her. And Stormy is just thankful that Ken is there with her, and she loves how Trish is with Ken. Stormy wants to know about these wedding vows, and basically Trish has to come clean now and tell her, look, I got to get some stuff going on first. Stuff that she got to get going on will be the actual divorce papers, because, baby, they are not signed. They aren't even drafted up. Stormy said that she's happy that Trish felt comfortable enough to confide in her and tell her that she's not yet divorced, because she's never going to judge her friend. But that is definitely some tea that she gave her. But all in all, that was it for this scene. So now we're going to move on to the next. So in this scene, we see Martell, and he is at his new home that he's getting ready to either sell or rent, according to him. And we kind of see a tour of the home. It's a cute looking home, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, standard, nice home with stainless steel appliances. We also see Chris Fletcher. Chris Fletcher is coming to Martell's. He's making a little joke in regards to having to put booties on his feet just to protect the flooring. Martell says that he is pleased that this will get him back in the game. He loves building things from the ground up, making things look more beautiful, and he can't wait to either rent or sell. He shows Chris how the house looks, and then we get down to business. Chris basically says, look, I spoke with my wife. I think you need to apologize for calling my wife a side chick. Martell immediately starts laughing because, of course, this situation is hilarious to him. He's laughing. He's like, well, she's not a side chick now. And then Chris is getting upset. Like, no, she never been a side chick. And Martell's like, basically Martell was like, you're lying. And he was like, no, when I met Nell, I was married, but I was separated on paper, and I was going through a divorce when I met her. She was not a side chick. And then Martell was like, well, what's your definition of a side chick? And Chris was like, I don't know, something somebody made up. And he was like, all right, well, I won't, if you say she's not a side chick, I won't call her a side chick. It is what it is. But Martell is laughing because obviously he is just saying that to pacify Chris and not to make Chris furthermore angry. But this whole laughing in people's face is weird as hell. Anyways, Chris goes on to say basically, my wife also told me that she spoke to Melody. And 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. Because I spoke to you about the whole jail situation. You told me it was just a picture, but I'm hearing it's a video. And Martell is playing stupid. He's like, huh? What?
no, it's just a picture. And he's like, so it's maybe I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's a picture from the video. He's like, what video? I don't know of no video. Then in the same breath, he goes, it was a picture. A Melody got the video. I had the video, then Melody had the video. So if you had the video and then Melody had the video, then obviously you had the video enough time to be able to watch it, screen share it, download it, and do whatever. But anyways, he's deflecting. So Chris is like, well, then how come you're getting arrested for that? So you're meaning to tell me that she's saying that this is going on and they're just taking your word and arresting you? And he's like, well, um, the courts ain't lying. I mean, it was a picture. And he's like, so you didn't promise to share this picture or to share this information? He was like, oh, if I would have done it, it would have been out already. Really? Really, Martell? It would have been out already? Okay. So then he goes on to say, basically, like, look, this is basically all a facade. It's all a lie. And of course, he's not taking any accountability. He never, ever does. He's asking for Mel, he's asking for Chris to ask Mel to show him the picture. And it's like, why would she do anything like that? She showed it she showed it to who she needed to show it to. And obviously they thought that it was revenge pornography, which is why he got arrested. So with this whole narrative that he's trying to spin, it's not even working. Let's just move on to the next and last scene. Now we're at the final scene where we see Destiny and Moses, and they're finally having their sit down. Of course, Destiny comes there dressed into the nines, and Mr. Moses, he came there without some jewelry, clearly. That was the first thing I scanned for. And he came in there with no jewelry on his hand. But I digress. They start speaking, and he basically says that he wants to talk to her because he wants to clear the air. In the confessional, he states that he doesn't want his wife to be looked at in a bad light. So he's basically trying to do this to speak up for his wife, and how the relationship that happened with him and his wife happened after Destiny and his relationship was over. But I like what he said when he said that he wanted to apologize because he didn't want her to come off in a bad light, because he was, at least he's aware that the situation looked real bad. But I feel like the situation looks real bad because he made it that way. As they started speaking, basically he said that when Destiny did not show up to his birthday party, that was the end all be all for him. He felt at that point they should just be friends because she can't be there for him and give him what he needs. She's not giving him enough. She's not being there enough, which is in relation to what he told Marceau and Maurice, that he felt like she didn't put the work in. When you're in a relationship, when a man and a woman are in a relationship, the one thing that I hate to see is the gender roles being reversed. And the reason why I say this is because a man is a natural go-getter, right? He goes after what he wants. And come hell or high water, if the man wants it, he gonna try his best to get it. And he gonna keep pursuing it until he locks it down. That's the nature of a man. For him to say that he felt like she wasn't putting enough, it kind of sounds correct as to what she's saying. As to what Destiny said, he wanted to be the one wooed like he was the girl, like he was her girlfriend. And she's not lying. The statement ate down. She ate it up with that statement, but she was not lying. He said that to Marceau and Maurice. And he said it again to her. When you didn't come to my birthday. That birthday has also been brought up in plenty of interviews. Whatever interviews that Moses has done in regards to Destiny, he has brought up his birthday. So clearly his birthday is a big deal for him. And I know that he was incarcerated. And
Destiny also held him down. See, these are the things that the lines are being blurred here. The lines are being blurred because there's a lot of things that are not being said. When he speaks to Sonny, when Sonny speaks on the relationship between Moses and Destiny, she breaks down their relationship as Destiny was just a side chick that he was dealing with on the side, nothing serious. But that's not true. That's what he probably told Sonny. Because when he's in Destiny's face, not one time has he ever mentioned the word side chick. Not one time has he ever mentioned not serious. He mentions relationship. He doesn't mention we was friends and we was friends with benefit. He doesn't mention anything like that. He will never tell Destiny that to her face. To Destiny's face, they were in a relationship. And in Sonny's face, Destiny was a side chick. He downplayed Destiny's role. And because Destiny's so guarded, do I believe that she gave every single detail into her relationship with Moses? No, I don't believe that. But what I do believe is she gave enough information for you to know that that was her man. Because if everybody else in the cast has been on dates with her and Moses, that means everybody knew that was her man, including you, Sonny. So now you're trying to say she was a side chick, but let's be real. When you knew about Moses and her relationship, you knew she wasn't a side chick. And in your very own interview, you said that you thought that he was trying to talk to you as a means to get on the show, on some show type of plot. Why would you think that if you thought she was just a side chick? You wouldn't have thought that if she was such a side, because if you felt like she was such a side chick and she was a mess around and she was, if you thought that about her, because let's be real, you have said that, like in the first episode that you've been on, you said she was a side chick, right? In your Carlos King interview, the day Melody had her interview, you and Moses came in there and you said she was a side chick. But if you really felt that she was a side chick, why then in one of your interviews would you say that you felt like he was trying to, when he was first trying to talk to you, he was trying to play you to try to see if he could drum up some controversy or see if Destiny could drum up some controversy for the show. So you thought that he was talking to you because that was his girl, and you would, like, he was trying to talk to you as a way to build up some type of animosity for the show. That's your words. Those are your words. So with your words, I'm going to ask you the question. If you thought that she was in a relationship with this man to the fact that you thought she was being punked as to why he's talking to you in the first place, why would you then say that she's just a side chick? Because he's never said in Destiny's face that she was a side chick. Did he say it to you in your face? Because not even you believe that. Because in your interview, you stated otherwise. So you knew she was never a side chick. So why keep saying it? Also in their sit down, he said, yeah, I didn't tell you that me and her started talking in August. Well, why not? He said that after his birthday, he told her that they should just be friends. See, this is where the problem lies. Moses and Destiny never clarified that the relationship was over until August. And that's a fact. Reason being is because he stated that they broke up in April when he said that they should just be friends because she didn't show up to his birthday party, which he probably was in his feelings for. And I feel like he was in his feelings. And I feel like because he was in his feelings, he said, you know what? I saw so-and-so the other day. Yeah, it'd be real funny if I started dating her. Then when he saw what she amassed to what she had, what her drive was, he said, oh shit, like I could really work with something like that. I could really work with her. But let's not think too deep into it, because I really feel like he really did try to talk to old girl Sonny because of the fact that that would hurt Destiny. Then his words was, we were both looking out for your best interest because we were being professional. When she was working with you, she was being professional. So what does that mean?
Why would you bring up her when she was working? Because didn't you say that you didn't start talking to her until after they stopped working together? Until way after? So if they stopped working together and then if they stopped working together and they wasn't filming for months and months upon the time, and you didn't see her till July, and then you got her number in July, y'all started dating in August, and you was telling Destiny that you loved her all the way up until August and never told her why you was still talking to Destiny in August that you was now dating Sunny, which you agreed that you didn't say to her. How then is that y'all had her best interest by keeping it professional while she was working? So what's the tea with that? What's the background with that? There's something going on there in the mix that they're not talking about, because why would you bring up best interest? How would Sunny have Destiny's best interest in regards to you and her relationship when you're claiming that you never spoke to her until after you after her and Destiny had parted ways, and after you and Destiny had parted ways, then y'all met up and y'all started talking. So if that's the case, then what does her being professional at her job have to do with you? Were you trying to pursue her while y'all were working? Were you trying to talk to her and having conversations with her while y'all were working? You say y'all know the same people. According to Sunny in her interview, she mentioned that she couldn't believe that you knew all her family. It was like y'all was cousins. She said that out of her mouth in the interview after Destiny came out and said that she originally told them that she feels like y'all might be cousins. Obviously you must have said, obviously Sunny must have definitely said that, because in Sunny's interview, in one of her interviews, she definitely said, "Oh, he was real cool with all my people. It was definitely like we was cousins." She said that out of her own mouth in the interview. Don't let me bring up the interview and play it back. I'm gonna have to give people their copyright, but I dang sure will. She said that in her interview. So I just really want to know, like, where's all of this coming from? He basically is saying that he never said that he wanted to be wooed or whatever. He's gonna let her take it, but I mean, that's what you told Marceau and Maurice. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of truth to what she's saying. But anyways, it goes to be continued. So we're gonna talk about the next episode right after this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I definitely want to see what you guys think about this episode. Next episode to follow. I know I'm late with this video, but there was so much stuff going on in the YouTube streets and it was really draining me. Enough to the point where I was like, you know what? Let me just take a break from recording. And that's really, really sad. But there's so much beef going on in these YouTube streets based on just this show alone that is enough to drain people. But I'm going to keep persevering and doing these videos. So next video will be out very shortly. Stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Bye.